an Empire Boxing and Unlearning Network production.
Welcome back to the Empire Boxing Podcast. I've been excited about this episode all day. I have Lev Jackson and JY Kim in the house.
Yo.
Awesome. How you doing?
Welcome, guys.
Yo.
First question I have, I'm just going to throw it out there right away. How did you guys get in? Because we didn't buzz you in.
Oh, I mean, come on now. I'm from Surrey, so we get in. If we need to get into someone, we're gonna get in.
I got JY with me, so I mean,
he
is
can get
my
it
keys.
anywhere, right? I was like, we're in here warming up, and I'm like, I think that's their voices in the hallway. We're
I
like,
wasn't even subtle. I was like, Jana, Jason, just screamed you guys name
Finkbiner?
out. Yeah.
Finkbiner, anyone?
Yeah.
They're like Ferris Bueller.
Let me in. I'm knocking this door down.
Wicked. Well, I'm so stoked you guys are here. And let's just launch right into it. I'm actually really excited to learn more about you specifically too, Lev. So let's start with you. Tell me about the origin story. Like, I need your superhero origin story. How did you get into boxing?
Okay, well, naturally, I'm going to have to say it. When I was about 10, 11 years old, I rented Rocky. The original one. The next week, I rented Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, etc. And I just really wanted to box. Became a bit of an obsession. Come from a Jewish family. I know the parents were like, it's a little bit not traditional. So, I mean, they weren't all too excited about it. But I kind of just kept pressing. I had a lot of challenges with Crohn's disease as a kid. So I had a lot of medical issues. And that was kind of the breaking point for me, where I was that plus being a bit of a troublemaker. I was like, hey, I get to have exercise. They're going to know where I am after school. And I started around 15 years old. And yeah, just from there, I was already a part of the sport, basically, because I was writing for Fight News by 13 years old because I wanted free ringside seats back when West Coast Promotions and Manny Sobral were running at the River Rock. So before I even stepped foot in a ring, I was already interviewing fighters. I was already writing articles, doing analytics and everything.
And that was also inspired by the Rocky movies.
Oh, 100%.
This is what I was going to ask you this eventually. I was going to say, okay, top boxing movie, but we already know. And it literally set the sales for you.
Yeah, no, it definitely... Sylvester Stallone's responsible for a lot of generations of boxers, I would say. That
and gray sweatsuits.
100%.
And sweatsuits and
gray
merchandising.
Yeah.
But
and roids.
If we're talking...
And roids, yeah.
Yeah, no, boxers don't look like him. That's one thing. When you see like Rocky 3, when he has like the full like 8-pack and just all the veins everywhere doing a water cut.
In real life, that guy would have gassed in like...
Absolutely. But that guy can't even like wash his back. Never mind throw a jacket.
No, exactly.
And so... That's amazing. So, question, you were mentioning coming from a Jewish family. So, do your parents still like, when are you getting married? When are you finding a nice girl? Are they like, okay, let's go. He's a boxer. Is mom like ringside cheering you on, or is she hiding her eyes waiting for you to get married?
She's been at quite a few of my fights. She was at my last one. And,
yes, mom.
It's pretty awesome that actually I get to see her warming up to it as well, because I mean, the first...
Wait, like mom's shadowboxing?
Not quite, but I'll hear her voice yelling here and there. But the main thing I noticed was... she was always horrified of fights, even with the amateurs, the headgears, the big pillows. She's thinking, I'm going to get hurt. This time, I think I got 2 or 3 stitches from a headbutt my last fight.
Yeah.
And right when I went to it, my mom goes, let me see. How many stitches? 2? It's nothing. You're all right.
Excellent. So mom's been fully, she's in the fold now.
She's probably my biggest fan, I'd
She's
say.
counting how many stitches you didn't have versus how many you did.
Yeah, and then as far as, fine date, when are you going to settle down? She knows already. I do have an awesome girl. I have my girlfriend Tia. I've been with the past
what up, Tia?
Over 2 years.
Shout out Tia.
Shout out to Tia.
And she's incredible. One of my greatest supporters, and definitely couldn't go about what I want to do and my goals without her being an awesome. It's not even, I'm not going to say cheerleader. It's more if I say I want to start a fire, she's going to say, let's get this gasoline going. Let's go.
Yo, shout out Tia.
Hey.
I was thinking about starting like a whole nother branch of this podcast where I just have like the moms of, or
Yes.
like dads of, or like maybe
That's a good
girlfriends,
one.
boyfriends of
the
fighters.
That'd be
Yeah,
good.
get Leah Jackson and Tia in here. They would have a fantastic time.
I'll get them
talking
together.
you.
Yeah. You might not want to listen to that episode.
Oh
though.
God, no.
So let's toss it over to JY. How did you first pick up the gloves?
Oh, for me, I mean, it was I don't know, it was like years ago. I just I got into a lot of trouble.
Years?
Like
How
this is
many
like this
years?
is such a like a cliche. Like I got into a lot of trouble. Blah, blah,
This
blah.
has been a
But that
common
was the
theme.
truth. Yeah, that was the truth. I got into a lot of trouble. Decided that I wanted to fight at least once before I died, and then I popped into the ring, and yeah, and then I as a fighter, actually, I'll say this is that Jackson and I, we had shared the locker room, like 13, 12 times.
15 maybe, yeah.
I've seen this kid fight when I was an amateur, and I never had to size him up because he's a lightweight. Because he's not in my bracket. I don't have me and him don't have any beef. I don't have to be like, man, who's this guy? He's a light guy, and so I know that he was fighting with Crohn's, and then so he did. He was one of the guys I respected for a super long time. But I gone the same sort of story. Got into a lot of trouble and decided to pick up a pair of gloves, and that's how I met Jackson back. Probably going back 8 years ago,
probably,
actually. Yeah,
at least.
Known him for almost a decade now.
Probably 2012 or so.
Yeah.
She's 10 years then. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost a
What
decade
year
now.
is it?
Yeah, we gotta go. Like now, we gotta go before COVID, BC.
Yeah,
AC.
fuck.
Oh, I like that. BC.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. So, and JY, talk to us about the transition for you from like amateur to pro boxing to being a coach.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool. I think that for me personally, it's been more fulfilling. When I was a boxer at Jana, and Jason, you guys probably know this best, is that like when I was fighting, I love the attention. I love clout chasing.
This guy?
I love putting everything on my gram. Like, yeah, I'm getting this fucking work in today, and you guys can fucking see it. But me as a coach now, it's different because I'm not really gonna post too much about what my team's doing, and I'm sort of just like leading them behind the scenes and letting them try to get all the attention that they deserve. And it's been cool, man. It's way more fulfilling. It's much more stressful, I'll tell you that. It's fucking, oh man, these motherfuckers.
That feeling of like, okay, it's like one thing, you're gonna step in the ring, you got nerves, whatever.
Yeah.
But when it's your fighter,
oh man,
it's another level.
Yeah,
You're this is if they get mangled.
Yeah. Then I gotta strap up. Then I gotta
Yeah.
I gotta put on the ground protector and go in myself. No. But in all seriousness, it is way more stressful. Like I get way more nervous when these guys get into a fight, and with Jackson coming up next. I got a few amateurs coming up next, but Jackson's probably soon right after that. And I think that just because I've known him for a long time, he was a peer, a friend, a colleague, and now, I can say he's one of my guys that Junior Morris is head coach, but he's part of my team.
Shout
now
out
as
to
well.
Junior
Yeah,
Moore.
shout out to
What's
Junior.
up, Junior?
The fucking baddest man out here.
Bad man.
Junior's a bad man, but so now it's gonna be interesting to see, and it's gonna be my first time helping out with the corner for the pros. So I'm excited. I'm nervous. My hands are fucking sweating right now just talking about it.
He's climbing up.
I'm climbing up.
Climbing.
Yeah, but it's gonna be okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Are you gonna make a comeback?
Myself? I don't know, man. Like I just like, to be honest with you, I haven't. I've like entertained the idea. I've entertained the idea. I've entertained the idea, of course, but man, I'll tell you what, my focus is Lev Jackson, Alex Lee, Jacob Libanow, Jerome, and Kinley. Like those guys are my those guys are my focus right now. And if I retire, never go back, and these guys all like become very successful, that's good enough for me.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Love that. Lev, talk to us a little bit about, you mentioned fighting with Crohn's disease and that being a hurdle for you. What was that like? Like that roller coaster? Like, have you been in situations where you had, you were in a real bad kind of way and you had a fight and you're trying to figure out how you're going to approach it and what kind of mental headspace you need to get through that physical, like, and discomfort? Talk to us about that.
Absolutely, yeah. So I honestly find it's a motivation to train hard because I know if I do twice the work my opponents or anyone else is doing, I'm still getting the same amount of results when it comes to Crohn's. So I'm just confident knowing I go into a fight every time knowing I did 3 times the work of my opponent. I've done all the work I need to absolutely lay those guys out. So I mean,
Savage.
yeah, it's I dealt with it since I started boxing. So there were some days where it was hurting pretty bad. There's been some days where I probably shouldn't have been in the ring or training, and especially I remember there was one where I had a Crohn's flare-up where I was in the hospital the week of a fight, and I just didn't really tell anyone. My parents were out of town. It was right after grade 12 was done. I remember I got a flare-up when I was looking for houses in Victoria. Came back, and then, still had the fight, still fought great, but, I mean, it was one of those things where I already looked like a zombie beforehand, that it was probably touched me to the body, and I would have gone there, but now I dare anyone to go to my body, because knowing I have Crohn's, I'm doing all my work. I have really strong core, so I know that there's 2 things that Crohn's inspired me to do. 1 is make sure I can never get hurt to the body. 2, be a really big body puncher, because if someone tries to go to my body, I'm going to say, haha, let's play.
Yeah.
Wicked, so you're going to toss it right back at them.
Oh, man,
exactly.
catch and shoot, Jackson, catch and shoot.
There you
Damn to go to the damn body.
There we
Yes. Yes. And who's been kind of the most influential person in your boxing career thus far?
I'd have to say when I first came back to it, I had 3.5 years off with stabilizing medications and Crohn's disease, life getting in the way. And I remember I called Junior Moore, my coach Junior. He wasn't a coach at the time at all. I just knew that it was somebody I trusted. Like ever since I was about 12 years old writing articles, he'd always be the guy that after the fight, he'd be main eventing, but instead of going to like the province or global TV for an interview, he'd always make sure I was the first one who got an interview. He'd always be the one walking me to the dressing room.
Bless him.
He'd always like, even when I started training, he'd be letting me walk to the ring with him when he was a pro. And that really, gives you the goosebumps because it gave me the feel of, this is what it's like to be professional. This is what it's like, the feel of walking to the ring. It's a lot different than amateurs.
Okay.
So in that sense, yeah, it definitely was him. I called him. I was like, hey, I trust you. Who should coach? And he goes, hey, me. And I was like, what was that? And he's like, well, I mean, if we're not a good fit, I've never coached anyone, but like, I definitely think we should. It was
send it.
Yeah, full send.
Full send.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, it was we did our first, and usually it takes some time for rhythm with a new coach and everything with their hand pads, their dance. We kind of hit it off right away. I know that, it was a really good connection. He's kind of just taught me the next level of how to train harder like a professional, and then also just how to get the most on every punch is that I definitely realized I was a big puncher. I didn't know that until I came back. Mm-hmm. So I'd say that was a double-edged sword of both my Crohn's was stable, so I could build some man strength for the first time in my life, but also I had a professional that knew how to hit pretty hard as helping me out.
Junior's juicy. For those who don't know Junior Moore, he's a juicy man.
He's a total stud.
Yeah, juicy man.
That guy's a fucking stud.
JY, who was the most influential person in your boxing career? We're going to ask you about coaching next.
Al Harper, hands down. I think like a boxer relationship with their coach, just like how Jackson mentioned, is like so fucking important. And to this day, you know, Al retired. He's moved up to Vernon. And if I ever have questions regarding, because I don't know everything, and I know I don't know everything. It's like my first, you know, real,
except for how to get into a building without being buzzed.
Yeah, I mean that's a different story. I mean, I grew up learning that skill.
Right.
That's a built-in skill.
But you know, with this coaching thing, I only had one guy for a long time. I only had Jerome. And now I have like a full stable of guys that are like looking to compete. And so I have fucking questions. I have questions all the time. And, you know, to this day, he's been just like my mentor and someone I can lean on. And so Al Harper definitely is going to be my number one guy.
And also that would be for as a coach as well. Your biggest influence?
For sure.
Amazing.
Like honestly, like me as a coach, I think I just taken Al's blueprint and just like put my own sort of twist. Just like how when I was fighting, like I was Al's style, but I put my own sort of flair into it. And same with the coaching thing. I think that it's Al's blueprint, and I'm just sort of turning it into my style a little bit. But it's been cool.
Amazing. Now, Lev, rumor has it that you're more than just a pro boxer. That you have a wrestling pedigree.
Hey, what? I did not know this.
He just turned. You guys see the shade color change there? He's a little
Lev,
bit
there's not supposed to be
red.
secrets between
Jade
you
going
and I,
right
bro.
to the heart.
Lived a little bit of a life between in the 3.5 years that I was off boxing, because I remember my GI doctor said it was like no contact for boxing. They never said no
single leg and double leg.
No so I'm gonna say it was
no suplexes.
kayfabe wrestling, so WWE style, taking a few steel chairs here and there.
Wait, hold on one sec. Doctor says no boxing, and you go, okay, cool. I'm gonna backflip off onto another human.
Is that I never asked. I just heard no boxing, and I didn't hear no wrestling. And I have a few friends in the local independent wrestling scene that
independent wrestling scene.
Yeah,
and honestly, it's blossoming more than usual. You should really check out the Rickshaw does some shows. The Wise Hall, that'd be WrestleCore.
I thought you were gonna say YMCA parking lot, but we
actually
have venues.
That's the kind of wrestling I
me too.
The Waldorf does once a year. They do Cinco de Mayo shows outside as well with the food trucks, with the luchadors. It's a great time. Very, very
Empire
interesting
Boxing on
community.
location. Hey,
fuck yeah!
You want to see that thing look real good? You put that on my body.
Okay. Lev Jackson is like the definition of like sort of like a troubled kid, because like the doctor told him no contact for boxing. He's like, I duck. And they go, you want to do this wrestling shit where you're taking steel chairs and shit? It's like, it's way better to say sorry than to ask for permission. That's why I fuck with Lev Jackson.
How I live my life.
That's why I fuck with this man.
And I will say, just credit to all the wrestlers that are trying to get to whether it's AEW or WWE. In about a year and a half, 2 years I did that, I got more injured than I did in a decade of boxing. So,
I mean, it makes sense.
Whenever anyone tries to make fun of it, it's hardwood under the mat. It's not a trampoline like your mom always says.
No, that body, that bones crashing into wood sound, it's real.
It is 100% real. There's no way to fake that. There's no way to fake a chop. All these guys are a lot tougher than you think they are.
Well, and also steroids work.
Add that to their Crohn's restrictions.
Yeah. If you're an MD out there, or you're gastro.
Fucking Jana's on one today, man.
hope
She's
you're
like
listening
not
to
letting any of the stereotype pass her, man. Like I've heard her, she's on one today.
Welcome to my domain,
100%. I'm not. I mean, jeez, man. Remind me never to piss you off.
Well, I'm thinking we branch out into the wrestling space.
Fuck yeah, why not?
Right?
Why not?
You can do some co-promotions. It's,
Yeah.
it's a
Fuck, why not,
fantastic
man?
community. I actually, honestly, when you are performing, you always kind of have your own little storylines in your head. And I always would involve, like, JY, you've been in a couple of my storylines too in the head. That's kind of weird to say, but it would be more along the
I'm
lines
flattered.
of...
Those dreams.
Remind me to ask.
Not
this
dreams.
question.
No, I'll just go into that. It's basically just...
Storyline, not fantasy.
If I get called a North Korean in your dream, I swear to God, I'm walking out of here.
No,
If I get called like a Kim Jong Un type thing, I'm walking out of here. You find yourself another motherfucking coach.
What's so cool about wrestling is that you really get to tell your own story. Like ring walks, I loved it as a kid, and that's part of with boxing. It motivates me when I'm watching like some '90s Attitude Era stuff. When you see The Rock walking to the ring, you see Mick Foley. It's like those guys. It's basically burlesque meets boxing.
Love The
basically, is
Undertaker.
And The Undertaker, yeah, it's all song and dance, but it's motivating. And like when I'm saying about storylines, it's more when I was saying co-promoting boxing and wrestling. It'd be the type of thing where you do a wrestling show where you have all the local pros heckling the wrestlers during the match throughout the night, and then slowly, eventually, maybe at
taking
the end
notes?
of the night, it accumulates. They get in the ring, so you'd have all the locals there
Oh,
versus
yeah,
all the
yeah,
main
yeah,
wrestlers.
yeah.
You
Okay.
could co-promote to
Jana,
any show.
you look like if Jana, if I didn't know you, you told me that you like fucking wrestled like a WWF. I'd fucking believe it. I
Yeah.
believe
100%.
it. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure she does. For sure she jumps off
For
like
sure.
the top rope and
Thank
fucking
you.
suplexes these
Thank you.
motherfuckers. Yeah.
So talk to us about. I have to stay here for a second longer. I have to. Talk to me about your wrestling outfit, please.
Pick one.
Yo, you know what? I
Wow.
think I remember. You know what? Actually, I do remember you wrestling. Was it like a
How
fucking?
tight?
Was it? No. I think he
No.
was like in a dress shirt and shit, right? Was that it?
That
Like,
was
we
one of
dressed
them,
as-
yeah.
Dang.
So the other part I love about wrestling is you can be 5-6 different people. So a lot of the shows that are in
Porno.
a lot of the shows that are in
dare you.
Vancouver.
No,
they're-
like what went through
You're gonna
my
get
mind was
canceled,
so
man.
much worse. Continue.
The wrestlers are gonna cancel you for comparing to a porno, man.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get canceled. There's
No.
some
Cancel
there's some great like I said, some great wrestlers, some great wrestling companies. But when you're not a known name, you get to be a new person every time. Like my two coaches, I'll use their wrestling names, Cobra Kai and the Great Kasaki.
Okay.
So those two, when they were training, they always said you want to wear a mask to start. Why? Because once your face is exposed, it's exposed. If you're terrible at wrestling at first with a mask,
Then you become that guy.
you're that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
And then once you're comfortable with it, then you can unmask. So I've been through a lot of characters. One that really stuck was this one won't sound great. Keep in mind that it's a parody.
Hit us
It's
with
a parody
it.
that
Hey Jackson,
my-
let's be careful what we share with these motherfuckers.
my-
These guys are gonna
yeah.
broadcast it
It's
everywhere.
going on the
you'll
internet.
Find it online. This character still lives. Is that one of my coaches? He did a character in East Vancouver that we knew would be the heel is the bad guy in wrestling. Is that he played Dwight Privilege, and I was Czech Wellington. That was the button-up shirt you saw me in, where I was basically just the annoying assistant helper.
Did you stay in the button-up shirt?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
was
or
there
it rips
layers?
off at some point. Yeah, it definitely
Him
gets
with
to
jean
it.
shorts.
Yeah.
I was thinking tearaways
shorts.
and like
Jorts.
little
Yeah.
tidy something.
Oh,
That's
that-
what I was thinking.
Yeah, that wouldn't be in the wrestling community. But yeah, it's
Okay.
if you are interested in seeing both of those, Glam Slam is half burlesque, half wrestling. So there'll be burlesque routines between the wrestling.
Which half were you?
Take your pick.
Wow, this has just gone.
Predominantly
This has gone
wrestling.
so much better than I wanted it to go.
So yeah, we could definitely steer back to boxing
Wow,
whenever
okay,
we'd
no.
like.
Yeah.
But,
I
This
have
is
a
motherfucking
request.
boxing podcast,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Jana
don't
and I
worry,
are
I'm in charge
not
here.
contemplating.
Yeah.
Jana, you and I can be like a tag team match and we're gonna fuck some people up for
Hey,
sure, man.
alright,
Yeah,
yeah.
we can definitely do it.
I have a request then.
What I tell you about commenting North Korean on here? Your ass is getting canceled now.
Okay, so I have a request. Like, do we get to see like Lev Jackson walk out in like a wrestling outfit to the boxing show? Like July 16th, are
Hell
you coming
no.
in with a mask?
You know,
Hell no.
Is this gonna be
I'm not
some
gonna
like
be doing
bronze
that.
bomber shit
And-
with?
Oh yeah, you know what? I don't want to. I'm not gonna have
Hell
any
no.
excuse of a 40-pound outfit
If
or
I
anything
see you
like
come
that.
through the curtains and like the smoke and you have tearaways on, I'm gonna be so excited.
Oh, I would be too, but I mean, I got to be tunnel vision for boxing. That's something that Jay, long before we even trained together, he noticed when he goes, "You have a switch that you hit."
100%.
And
100%.
and the way that it was like that is that I'm always I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I'm pretty low-key and everything. So, like, before the matches, I'll be telling jokes, having a bit of an energy drink, whatever it is.
But then...
And then it's, as soon as I'm like, oh, I've got an hour to go, I just go dead silent, and I get into my zone, maybe start talking myself up a little bit.
We call it Merc mode. You go into Merc mode.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, this is a true story. I swear to God, this is a true story. So at the... Lev and I fought on plenty of the same cards, but we fought for like a really big tournament. It was the WBC Canadians, and Lev was up against this kid from Toronto. Tough kid too, tough kid. And Lev and I, like, you know, when we see each other weigh-ins, it's all love. Like, hey man, what's going on? How's camp? Whatever. And he's, like you said, he's very go-lucky, happy guy. And I see him getting ready to go. You know, he's about to do his walkout. And Lev's walkouts are fucking money. Like, they're absolutely... I mean, I never know anybody on this pro debut walk out with a rapper. I'm like... and everybody's like, yo, that guy better fucking win. And he did win.
It's the added pressure. I love the added pressure.
Yeah, so no one's going to say shit. But going back to the story, I mean, I saw Lev getting ready. He had worked up a full sweat, was rocking like a Surrey crack cut, like looking just real fresh.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I'm going to go wish this guy good luck because him and I are friends and whatever. I go up, yo, Jackson, good luck, man. And he just looked over at me. He goes... and just kept warming up. I was like, oh, okay, he mad at me or something. Maybe he's coming to my weight class. He's sizing me up. I don't know what it is. But no, I've seen Lev switch.
Yeah.
I've seen Lev switch, and I've seen him fight so many times. And so he definitely got to switch. And I think that in order for you to be successful in this game, first you got to be humble. Can't take yourself too seriously. But when it is time to go and fucking fight in your underwear in front of hundreds of people,
it's time.
It's time. Like, I mean, it's either fucking my face or his face, and Lev is always gonna want the other guy's face to get all fucked
That's
up.
interesting. Like, I just want to like kind of unpack this idea of coming out with added pressure, and it just I immediately went to like Anthony Joshua coming out with like the fireworks and like the whole thing, and I'm like, Eddie Hearn spent some money, like, and then he lost.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, doubling back to on the much smaller scale to that, like, it was my friend Jules was the one who rapped Night of the Ring. Kato, great artist himself, but anyway, when that happened, it was he had to say, yeah, you look like an absolute jackass in your pro debut if you have a guy rap you to the ring and then you get blown out of the water.
Yeah.
So I like that added pressure. Is that every fight I go into, I always want to think of something I haven't done before and go with that. So, like, for instance, when I came back with juniors, my first fight, never did well in comeback fights. 3.5 years off, they had me fight the Canadian Fighter of the Year through ComSport. I beat him. Nice unanimous decision. Very, I don't want to say easy. He's a good fighter as well, but
Smash.
It wasn't when he wasn't out of the ordinary from a sparring session or anything like that. I just got to roll over him. Next fight I had, it goes, I never did well against southpaws. Put me in with a southpaw. And it just builds that confidence. Then the next one, even though it's a small trivial thing, I only fought once outside prior to that, and I lost. I went, I never want to fight outside. So we did the Surrey Sports Festival event. I got to win a fight outside. I got to win a BC title again there, so that was nice to... Good way to cap off coming back as well as to get a belt.
So is this part of the formula for that switch we were talking about? Is it like the conscious decision to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and do something differently, as you say, even against your own voice saying, I don't want to do this or I don't do well against this? Is that a conscious choice and that's part of that switch you can kind of flick?
100%. Because also right now is I'm still in the developing stages of my professional career. And of course, I'd like to have more fights, COVID, injuries, life happens. We're in the position we're in now. So I know that every fight I'm going to need something I haven't seen before because you want to level test yourself on the way. You don't want to get to 7 or 8-0 and fight a guy that said that you just go, I've never seen this before. What do I do? You want to test yourself a little bit on the way. So whether that be a southpaw, an uncomfortable situation, or putting a little added pressure by having someone perform you to the ring, I was like, that'll always put me comfortable so it's on to the next challenge. So if now it would be, all right, now maybe I'll have to win a fight blindfolded one day or something like that.
All right.
Hopefully not. I'll never let that fucking happen.
Take note. This is actually a great segue. JY, if you could have a rematch against anyone, who would it be?
Oh, I don't know, man. Like, fuck. That last guy I fought, I mean, like, I fought him. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think I sparred, like, twice and, like, ran one time and, like, didn't do fuck all for that fight. So, I mean, I'd like another shot at him. But like I said, it's, like, one of those things where, like, if I end up fighting again, I'm gonna do it fucking properly. I think as of right now, like, my mind, I entertain the idea. I entertain the idea all the time, but my focus is on
your fighters,
on Lev Jackson and my amateurs right now. That's all I'm really thinking about. But,
awesome.
You know, maybe one day.
Okay, cool. Now, Herman, there's a story. You guys used to.
That's the guy you're fighting.
Yeah, you guys used to spar. You guys used to train together. Is there some rumor had it that there was maybe a little story there or something?
It was basically, I guess the story.
Can we drum up some fake beef then,
Yeah,
at least for the
absolutely,
podcast?
yeah.
I'm really good at drumming up
Fuck this
fake
guy.
beef.
We're gonna kill him.
fuck
He
this
like,
guy.
he like
No
slashed your
disrespect, I'm
tires
just
one
playing, no
night
disrespect.
and like he hit on your girlfriend in a liquor store.
no.
That's gotta be my last opponent, but we'll deal with that one
Okay.
later. But
Coming back to that.
going back to that, no,
Don't go anywhere, Mom.
Herman's a good, tough kid, but I mean, I know you're listening, Herman. You're a good, tough kid, but good,
Shout out to
tough kids
Herman.
don't win big fights.
Hey.
And I know we sparred together. He gave me the work I needed for my last fight when we were sparring. Their gym is incredible. Like Mark Friedman's a good guy. He let me come in. I was a guest in their gym. They gave me all the work they needed that I needed. It was about once a week, so probably about 25 rounds maybe we've sparred together. And he's solid. Yeah, I don't have anything really bad to say about him as a fighter because. Yeah, he's good. I want to be pushed. I want to be challenged. He's a good challenge. He's like I said, a good tough kid. But I'm a little bit of a level above him, so he's gonna have to know that on fight night.
Sparring days is a lot different when you're under the bright fucking lights, man.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
When you're making your
100%.
debut, man, it's a lot
And
different.
I guess there is a bit of a storyline more with his coach and such, because as I said, my first fight in 3.5 years, I fought the Canadian Fighter of the Year. That was Elroy Fruto. That was Mark's crown jewel at the time. And I beat him very easily, and then. We had a rematch, and it was 5 rounds for the belt. It was at the Surrey Sports Festival.
Shout out, Surrey.
Absolutely.
Surrey?
And I beat him again, and like I said, pretty easily the second time. It was a little rougher. He made it a rough go of it. Definitely trained, got stronger, but that was his. Yeah, so I guess Mark will want a little bit of a revenge, even though we both we're friends outside, he and his coach, so like through the Jewish
But
community.
it's business,
as well.
right?
But it's business.
It's got to stay business.
We've actually, Mark and I discussed it, is that after he said, we got you, we're going to be fighting you, I just said, perfect. And then I was like, yeah, it's too bad I can't go to your birthday party. And he's like, and we just said, yeah, afterwards we'll have a drink together.
I was going to say do some shots after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hopefully Herman will still be at the facility and not in medical, in bad medical condition. So hopefully he can have a shot with us. But if not, I'll have to go get him about a week later.
Wow. That just worked perfectly. Thank you.
Look at these two drama setting these guys right here, man. These guys are trouble, man.
Little Bob Marley.
These guys are trying to set up all this
Yo,
type of drama,
When
man.
you're editing this later, just mix in a little Bob Marley. Steer it up, right?
Jana's a shit starter, man.
You know, I wouldn't have had anything to say. Anything,
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything bad to
Jana,
say about my
man.
opponent, but I have good things to say about me, so that's where we're at with
Hey,
Love
that's a
Jackson.
good one.
That's a good line.
That's
We'll
humble,
put
yeah.
that in the minutes. We'll
I like
quote that one. JY, what message do you bring from your competitive experience and your amateur pedigree? What message do you bring to your young athletes, your amateurs, your pros, like everyone that you coach at DTS? Like, what's your your sauce? What do you bring?
I mean, first and foremost, I think shout out DCS and Ryan Diaz for giving us a home.
Shout out to DCS.
Man, that guy,
Times two.
that guy has given us a home, and he's given us nothing but support or whatever. And I think the one thing that I can bring is just like my own experience. I mean, I don't know how else to say this, but I mean, there's a lot of coaches out there that never stepped into the fucking ring, and they clout chasing off the backs of their kids. You know what I mean? And for me personally, I'm coming in there just like trying to teach them. Like, I'm not going to teach something that I learned off Instagram, or I'm not going to teach something that I learned off YouTube. I'm going to teach you something that I know that works because it's either I got smashed in the face with that technique.
Yeah, tried, tested, and
Or I've done it myself. So one thing that I can bring, and I can bring like confidence in everything that I say, because I know if I'm teaching something to someone, I know for a fact that it works. I can have that confidence in saying that, and I can share a lot of my own experiences. And not only that, like I feel like I'm just an honest guy generally. Like, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm not going to like if I tell you that you look like absolute garbage today, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. Yeah, I'm gonna let you know.
You're gonna go take a shower.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like,
I'm gonna
"Well,
let you know
trash."
that you look like shit. But if I tell you that you look fucking good today, even if you don't feel that way, I'm gonna be able to like, be a shoulder that you can lean on and be like, no, man, I'm telling you, you look okay. And like, so one thing that I think that all my fighters get from me is just like, I've had to bullshit and like be a different person in corporate life, and in boxing is the one place that I've been able to just fully express myself. And I think with coaching, it's actually a bigger platform for me just to be my fucking absolute self and just share a lot of my experiences and you know, I give them a technique or something and I can be like, this is why, this is my experience with it, this is how I see you doing it, let's rep it. If you come across an issue, I've come across that issue too, let's just fucking let's get over the fucking hurdle, you know what I mean? So I think the one thing that I can bring to these guys is just like honesty and like my own personal experience, and on top of that, like, you know, Al Harper, again, I can't say good things, but he's taught me boxing the right way. I feel like I've learned how to box the right way. And whether you're a pro, whether you're the first guy in the gym, if I'm able, I can share that. And I found anybody, as long as they're willing to listen, it'll be valuable for that fighter. So that's what I think I bring to the table.
It's an interesting sort of, you know, Pandora's box there with the idea that, like, especially in a competitive setting, you know, bullshit's actually dangerous. You don't want someone, you know, right? Like telling you things that don't work, giving you tools that don't work, saying that things are all right when they're not all right is dangerous. You know, 100%. You do not, you know, gassing someone up.
Those are people that are just like, honestly, like I feel like the people that are like that the most are people that never step in the ring because they don't really give a shit about their fighter. And it's like, for me, when I look at them,
there's missing experience.
Yeah.
Crucial. And I don't think that, you know, all athletes are great coaches. And I don't think all
100%.
coaches are great athletes.
100%.
And that line doesn't have to be completely
100%,
blurred that way.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you've never even been through any aspect of it, how could you possibly?
Well, you just don't know how dangerous it is, right?
The way that I actually like, I've used this analogy I've heard before. It's that I want a pilot that lands planes. Anyone can get a plane up in the air. It's a pilot that lands it. And again, it's like, there's certain coaches who did have a little bit of fights, maybe two, 3 fights, but like when they're trying to coach a professional, it's I don't want to hear when I get on the plane saying, have you landed a plane before? Yeah, I did. Have you landed more than 2 planes? What I want to hear is I've landed every plane in every different situation, and that's how I know. So like, that's one of the exact reasons why. There's 2 main reasons why I was so excited to work with JY. One of them being, I know he's
handsome as fuck.
Apart from that.
3 reasons then.
And the swag.
No,
the swaggy.
Yeah, he's got that. All the positive personality aside, there's one is that he has the experience, is that he has equal to more fight experience than I have, and I know that he's been in the situation. So it's the same thing as Junior had 14 pro fights, about 150 altogether. So when I go to the corner with him, no matter what happens, if it's a situation I'm uncomfortable with, he goes, I've seen this 10 times before. We're going to do this, this, and this. Right. That's what I want. I know JY has that like, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what I don't want to hear is, I haven't experienced it. We're in this together. Let's hope to get out of it. It's like, no, I don't want to be in it together with you, bro.
We're in this together,
but we'll get through it. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Is that,
like, shit.
Yeah.
Give me something.
I feel unstoppable. I have him and Junior in my corner. Is that no matter what situation we're in, everyone's gonna have the right answers for me. Yeah. So like that's what you want. You want to have a leader. You don't want to have a training partner as your coach.
Yes.
You know, one thing I will say with Lev is that like I said, I never had to size him up, but he was just really like a colleague at DCS. But he's always shown me a lot of love, a lot of respect, and I already respected him as a fighter. I already had a lot of respect for him, and then as I'm coaching him, one thing that has really stood out for me is that he's such a student of the fucking game. And he's like old school. Like Al Harper is fucking old
Rocky
school.
Rocky 1, 2, and 3
Rocky
school.
1, 2, 3 is his fucking
we've
thing.
got the 2 oldest, I guess, knowledge of boxing. Is that I came from Astoria. He came from Port Kells. Those are the 2 old schools of boxing.
Yeah.
I got to learn from. I'm just blessed to be to have learned from George Angelo Mattis. I was his last student as well, and he learned from Al, one of his last students.
Right.
So.
And like like I was saying, like his IQ is something, like IQ comes through experience. You can't really teach IQ. I mean, you could teach maybe something, you can like give knowledge, but like for someone to really embed into their head, it's like something that is done through experience. And one thing that I've noticed, the things that stand out for me with Lev is that when we're in the gym, like him and I have, like he mentioned before, like the same, we grew up in the sort of same circuit, whatever. Yet he still shows me a lot of respect. And anything I tell him to do, he's gonna fucking try it. And if he's got questions about it, he'll let me know. Like he's been like such a great boxer for me to help coach and to assist, and he's been such a good student of the game. And I'll tell you this, there's my assistant coach, or not my assistant coach, my co-coach, G Kanda is like a big brother of mine, and he's a very old school guy too. And so we were running this fucking practice, and we had these 2 young kids in there that were like, oh, we want to be fighters. And all right, we'll fucking skip for 15 minutes and let's see if you want to be a fighter at the end of it. And one of these kids was like complaining that like his shit was starting to hurt or whatever. And I was like, what? Like, what? You're hurting? And he like said something, and fucking Lev like is the nicest fucking guy in the gym. I swear to God.
Roast him?
He just turned around and was like, shut your fucking mouth. Save your shit.
A little more PG than
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, he didn't say fuck.
I just said don't waste your words.
Yeah, he's like, don't waste your words, shut your mouth, and just keep skipping or something.
Yeah.
Me and G turned around. I'm like, he's fucking old school.
My guy.
He's
my
old
guy.
school. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's old school.
Amazing.
As far as for a reference on that, it's that I know that when you talk while you're skipping or running, that's when you lose your breath. That's what I said. Save your breath. That's all it is. But
and also quit bitching because you've only just begun.
You just skip for 15 minutes, motherfucker. Try going for 30.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love it. Okay. I absolutely love the dynamic between you guys. It was funny. I was gonna ask, like, talk to me about like coaching athlete relationship, but like here it is. Like we got it. And you guys, I love the respect. I love the banter. I love the support. Like there are things about each of you as individuals, as athletes and coaches that have attracted you guys to each other, and you guys seem like a wicked dynamic duo. So, Lev's fighting on our July 16th card, and I can't wait for the walkout. And 2, because JY, I was just gonna say,
I'm singing BTS on the way
I
out.
was like, JY's gonna be rapping.
No,
straight
no.
slurry saying
Slurry? Excuse me? Everybody for
slang.
saying cancel this woman right now. JL boxing coach,
Slurry
cancel her ass
slang.
right now. How dare you call us slurry?
Oh my god. So JY fantasy matchup.
Yeah.
For Lev.
Yeah.
Boxer from the past. Who would it be?
Oh, fuck.
Best question.
Shit, man. I don't
And we're
even
getting into the
know.
good stuff now.
A fantasy boxing match between Lev and a
And-
boxer. You know who I don't really like that much?
So you want to see Lev smash him?
Yeah, you know who I don't like that much, but Lev, I love you, dog. But like I said, I can't lie. You'd be a heavy underdog for the fight. But if there was a dimension where you could
Just
smash
say it,
Gervonta
JY.
Tank Davis, man, I would love to see that. I would love, or Rolly. Actually, that Rolly guy is a fucking weirdo too, man.
I gotta say, actually, if we talk about that, is Rolly is a perfect example of how just self-belief can get you so damn far
100%.
with his
100%.
I'm not gonna say lie, with his disparity in talent versus a guy like Tank to even do what he did.
But did he surprise you at all? Or do you think like Tank was just biding his time?
Oh, Tank was 100% toying. He was fighting. He was throwing 12 punches around, but
I was having people messaging me be like, "Yo, Rolly looks really good." I was like, "Just wait."
Oh, I know.
Just
But
wait, baby.
He did a round longer than I thought, to the point where I started almost
Shout out to
believing
Rolly.
it. Almost believing what he's gonna do. But you know what? We've talked about that fight before. The only part as a pro, I've never got to fight with regularity. Like I went pro in 2019. I was supposed to have a fight right after, and I ended up cracking a rib coaching a class at a gym that's not around anymore, and had to take some time off. And then after that, COVID hit. Then I had a lot of cancellations here and there. So it took almost over 2 years to get my next pro fight, and then it was November, and then December the world shuts down again when I was supposed to be back in February. So I mean, I'm so excited and thrilled, and also thanking you guys at Empire, is that you guys are giving a platform for us fighters to stay busy. Is that I think a few of us, a lot of us aren't far off. Is that if I just get to fight with regularity in the next year and a half, the guys, not the Tank Davises yet, like you said, heavy underdog, but I can see myself moving with guys like the Rollies of the world. Is that I don't see them much of more than a throne's throw away from me.
Hey.
Love it.
You know, I'll tell you this about Empire Boxing, man. It's like, because think about who like the people that run the, you got like Jason, you got Jana, you got like the queen, the absolute boss of
Banana
bosses.
France, shout out to Anna.
Anna, and you got like Big Bro Dan. Like, you motherfuckers are like the boxing Avengers of BC. You guys just came together. You're like, you know what, man? This
has to change.
Yeah. This shit is
Empire.
hella trash. So we're gonna make this thing sexy. We're gonna I want to say that too, man. Is that like I think that one thing I do really appreciate is like the platform and you guys helping boxing in BC become something a little bit more well known. And I think that you guys are doing something real special beyond with what you guys realize now, but. I think you guys will look back on it and be like, man, we were the fucking boxing Avengers. That fucking Korean guy was onto something. You know?
I want to go back to some fun questions, but I really think that this is a wicked segue into like your guys' thoughts on what's it going to take to build pro boxing in BC, and then what's it going to take to build pro boxing in Canada? You know, that's what we're about.
Yeah. Sponsorship.
Cut
I mean,
the checks.
Yeah. Cut the checks to Empire, man, for real. Because
my ears are open too.
Yeah. And you know, the fighters too, because like, you know, like one thing that someone mentioned to me when I was fighting, they're like, "You're a part-time fighter?" I'm like, "What you mean?" Like, "You got a 9 to 5?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got fucking bills to pay." What are you talking about? They're like, "Yeah, like people from the States, they're full-time boxers." So sponsorships, and like not only that, I think like if there's any like, you know, some sharks out there, man, like I mean whales out there, man, pay Empire, man, for real, because these guys are having to sacrifice so much of their time to give us a platform, but they're unable to do 12 shows a year or 15 shows a year or 10 shows a year because it's fucking expensive. So cut the check, pay my homegirl and my homeboys, and give us a chance, because you know one thing that pissed me off is, you know, Sam Moses, shout out Sam Moses from Rain City, he's like a close friend of mine, and he told me that when he went to nationals, they were getting the draw to see, you know, which province is which province, and one guy was like, "Oh sweet, I got BC, easy work." The fuck you mean easy work?
Yeah, you get that too, and then it became the same as it was almost a joke with a big smiley face online when I was in like high school and we got to go down to fight in the States. Is that there's a big smile and the guy goes, "The face you make when you know you're fighting the Canadian."
Yeah,
but it's like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, like it's, you know, like some people, like I think this is more the competitive side of me, but I fucking hate that. You know, I hate the fact that like they would completely disregard a nation. You know, Canada's got some of the toughest motherfuckers out here.
And we had a golden era not long ago where we had like Jean Pascal, Lucien Boutte, Steve Molitor,
and so like how
all these guys selling out the Bell Center.
Like how dare you like underestimate us based on where the fuck we live? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Like I will smash you. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But like it really does.
All that is an infomercial.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really does irk me though, man.
Yeah,
It really does irk
the
me a little
the more
bit.
resources we have, the more we can give the fighters the fights that continue to get the fighters fights, so that you can be a professional boxer and continue to climb the ladder and take it wherever you want to take it. Like we need support to be able to give you guys what we want to give you guys.
Absolutely.
And also change that perception, because that's shit. And I know that because I lived in the States too, right? But
yeah, you were Hollywood for a bit, right?
slow down here.
She's still
Slow
look at that
down
tan, man. You from California, girl? It rains on you all the time.
But it's true, and I do think there is a benefit to crossing the border and getting Canadian athletes into the States for events and for fights, because the pool is so small here.
Yeah.
It's so small.
And the sponsors would help us bring fighters.
So
up
don't
the
worry,
way.
I got you guys.
Cut the check, man.
Cut
BC.
the checks.
Yeah, BC's got a ton of rich motherfuckers out here, man. Cut the check.
Regularity.
It's a tax
would be the
write-off.
biggest
Cut
thing.
the
It's
check.
Exactly.
Yes.
Cut the check.
Yes.
Damn
It comes from money, because money makes regularity, and that's what we all
Yeah.
need. Is that if we can all get even when we consider 3 to 4 pro fights a year a busy year in Canada, that is just not fair to us. When you have the rest of the world, it's like, a lot of the guys that when I was 1-0, 1-0-1, which I am now, it's like I got offered these guys, and then I got offered Duke Reagan from Top Rank for a fight, actually. And anyway, from there, I just remember I was like, he was 1-0, I was 1-0. And they were going to set it up, and I couldn't get out of the country, so that never happened. But he's already 5-0 now, and I'm just, still chilling. I was like, that's no one's fault, but just the regularity that we need to have.
There's no opportunity out here, right? But
Yeah.
you guys are working on that. And like I said, we appreciate
No, and that's
that.
why, again,
Boxing
thank you
adventures
so
out
much
here.
for having us on the podcast, having us on the show. Is that I plan on definitely giving it back to you guys in the sense that you're going to have a hell of a fight, a hell of a knockout.
Yeah. And you know what? I will say this, man. Jason Please is so handsome. Get him in front of the camera.
Just
Get him
over here
in
for
front.
1
Get him
second,
in front of the
Yes.
camera. Like I don't know why you put this guy in the back of the camera all the
Yes,
time.
yes. Come on, yeah, he's coming.
This man is Look at how handsome this man is, man. Get this man in front of the damn camera.
So much
Yeah. How good would it be if we had Jason and dubbing my voice in the background? So, like,
man.
how
Hey, I
good-
will
how good would
ask
that
you
be?
this just because we're on live, but it would have sounded cool. if I
I'm
said we were
actually
on
now
live.
super nervous.
You
but-
should be. Because I will say this is that Jana, I've seen Jana fight, and I've seen Jana work, and like what's going on with you, Lamar? Are you gonna try to fight again or something? Like this once a year bullshit is a waste of your goddamn athleticism, man.
See,
You know what? Fun story, man. I used to live in 1188 Howe, and this dude came up to me in the elevator, and I was like, I had a pair of boxing gloves on, and like not on, like I was not walking around with boxing gloves.
He was
Fuck
walking with
that.
his gloves
Don't
on.
get it twisted. They were just like
a shopping bag
Yeah,
hooked
that's just
over
an
the-
I am a boxer.
Yeah.
No. It was just like in my bag, and he goes, "Hey, you box?" I was like, "Yeah, I box." why you box? He's like, nah, my girlfriend's a boxing trainer. I was like, okay, girlfriend, boxing trainer. Turns out it was this lady. So for real, he wasn't talking out of his ass. And then I've had the opportunity to watch you spar and watch you work and shit like that. You a damn waste if you don't do nothing with that. Just like, so.
Here's the thing about me though, and this isn't about me, but here's the thing about me. I just like too many things.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I love boxing, I love jujitsu, I love lifting. I'm one of those people.
But
like,
you're good at boxing.
I do love it, and we'll see one day. When I moved to LA, I was like, you know what? I think
Don't
I
be
would love
nervous,
to
man.
turn
Don't be
pro.
nervous. Why
You know?
Yeah, that's you should have.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And then COVID, everything you said, I echo. But then I fell in love with the boxing biz, you know, as well.
Yeah,
so
but you can still box.
It's hard. I appreciate that. And for those who haven't been to who haven't been to a JY class, like, I mean, as a coach, like, shout to you as an athlete, because I've seen you work as well. But shout to you as a coach for sure.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
It's like, it's interesting, like, you know, because I'm also in that world as well. It's like, how do you do boxing justice and then serve the people that
100%.
never want to step in the ring competitively,
Yeah.
but, you know, and not sell your soul to the devil and kind of go full boxing fitness, which there's a market for that. Like, I'm not hating.
Huge market.
And that's what, honestly, that's what pays
That's where the paper
Jim's
is.
bills.
Yeah, that's where the paper is.
So I think, like,
Shout out to all the sellouts.
yeah. Oh, man.
I'm playing. I love you guys.
I had to hold my tongue so hard there.
I know. We know who we love, but I love you, bro. I love you, big dog.
But, like, here's the thing too, though. It's, you know, it's if you can do both, and if you can find people in the industry, like, I think, you know, we are part of a handful of people that do both, know both, have lived both, train both, work both.
Yep.
I mean, these are the classes. Like, if you're getting into boxing and you're inspired to hang out with any of us good-looking people, find a coach. Right? And Jason, please. And find a coach who can do that, who can give you that experience, because what you will take away and wherever you take your journey from there will be a million times better than just,
Amen.
you know, that ain't it. That ain't it. And I think it doesn't do boxing justice, because it is one of the only sports that has been kind of altered into a fitness product, right? Like, like we don't go to the soccer class to do soccer hit, right? Or like basketball, for example. You know, you don't do that. Oh, don't. You just.
But you know what? Like, I'll tell you what.
What I'm
like,
saying, right?
Yeah. Well, like, it comes down to the people that really love the sport, and, you know, Anna being like the peers that she is, like. She hired me as a coach, and she said, and I said, like, oh, like, do I have? And she's like, just like, she literally said, do whatever the fuck you want to do in class. What do you mean? And she's like, these guys signed up and they want to learn how to box from someone that actually boxes. There's a market for people that just do the boxing fitness, but she's like, your audience is going to be people that want to learn, like, legit shit. Yeah. And so she's like, you're asking the wrong person. Just, like, run with it. She gave me, like, you know, shout out to Anna again, but she gave me the platform to just, like, not be shy. If I was, like uneasy about something, she's like, no, just fucking do it.
And that was an era.
That
like,
was an
slap
era.
the red lights on, put on the bum some gum song, like, throw some tunes, and then do some real shit. And it was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
yeah.
And I think that's the sweet spot. And you do that so well.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you do that so well.
Well, I think he's doing it without, he can't help himself. The same with me is that whether I have a 55-year-old that's never boxed before, or a kid that when we're coaching at DCS,
a jab's a jab.
Is that it's in my upbringing that I got taught with good fundamentals. I feel your workout is better when you have good fundamentals, because it's not just doing an arm punch, you're using your whole body. Yeah. Just as a small example. So I'll tell everyone out the gate, it goes, yes, I know you don't want to box, but I'm going to teach you proper fundamentals to get the most out of the workout for you. And it's also more fulfilling when they get to see themselves working.
Well, and it's also like, we're sort of like, we're craftsmen, right? Like, you know, I coach, you know, person A, and then they go on a holiday and they're like, oh, I'm gonna hit a boxing class, and I'm in NYC, and like, you want that person to be the one where the coach is like, oh,
100%,
you boxed
100%.
like, we're like tattoo artists that way or
100%,
something.
yeah.
We don't want people walking around going like, oh my
Yeah.
god, that's the worst
Yeah,
tattoo I've
100%,
ever seen.
100%. If you suck at boxing, please take off the JY Kim t-shirts, man. Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that I mean, like, it's not that Vancouver's got a big, but please take them off.
Right,
you're
and like,
you know.
we're also not like saying like everyone has to be like killer technique and, you know, like,
Not everyone has
just
to be a Jana.
throw shit. I mean, you can't. It's just not. Don't even try. but it is. I think like it's the intention. It comes down to like, do you respect it? Do you want to learn it? Are you willing to pause for a second to, you know, what kind of what you were saying about Lev is like he listens, he tries everything. Are you that person? Are you coachable? Are you coachable?
I've had literally Lululemons come in and like me trying to like coach them, and they're like, oh no, or they'll roll their eyes at me. I'm like,
And
if
like,
Anna was
I'm
here,
not asking you to put your mouth guard in.
yeah,
Like, chill.
if Anna was here, I would get her to beat your ass so fucking quick. But she's not. But I've literally had that, and like I think that this is just going back to Jackson. The reason why it goes so well is that like, if I want to have a roster of fucking 30 people that want to learn how to box, I'll have a roster of 30 people. But it's like this coaching shit, as you know too, is so tiring and so stressful, and it takes a lot of time out of your day, and so you have to pick the right people. And the guys that come in with, even if they have experience, they come in and they just want to like learn, and they're wide-eyed, and they're just like, they're just want to take in everything that you're trying to teach them. Though, like, I will take in like a D1 student that doesn't listen, like a Division 1 athlete that doesn't listen to shit, and like the fucking guy that never played a sport in his life, but just like listens and wants to learn and puts like the respect into our workouts. I would take that guy, and I wouldn't even hesitate. Like, fuck the athlete. I'll take the guy that just wants to listen. Because there has to be a good chemistry between fighter and coach.
Which just proves that anyone with a sense of coachability can do it. You don't have to. We don't need you to be a high level athlete.
100%.
And that's what I think is so cool about having a coach on here too. Is we've had the athletes, but it's like there's a whole story about the coach, right? That's really interesting, and so that's a little insight into like our brains, as well.
But my hair is falling out because of Lev Jackson and all these other motherfuckers now. I'm rocking the hat all the time. Nah, just playing. Lev is great.
It can be frustrating, I know. But I'll just pump his. Not that you need me to pump your tires.
No, I do. Please, this is the platform where you pump my
He
tires.
needs to grow some hair back.
100%. I need the hair.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you look at coaches' rosters, like he has, about 5 or 6 talented young fighters as well that he's coached. But the biggest difference I found with him and the other guys is that a lot of guys can have a good roster of ready-made fighters. They don't have guys that they built from the ground up. So many teams have guys that they poached from this gym, they poached from that gym. This guy had a comeback.
Snake in the grasses.
This guy had a falling out with his coach, so he came to me, etc. All these things. Is that is not a tell of how good a coach is how well he works with guys that are ready-made. I get to see this guy in live action. Like, I knew Jerome before his first fight too. I got to watch all
Shout out
these
to
guys.
Jerome.
Yeah,
I've watched
That's
him
my
grow
team cap.
from the ACA days to.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Can you produce a fighter? It's different.
It's not just one. He's not just lucky that he had a good athletic guy. He's got 5-6 guys that are well schooled athletes. And I knew that that's right away. I was like, I really want to work with this guy.
Love it.
Appreciate
Lev,
that.
celebrity matchup. You get to match JY with an athlete from the past.
Yo, pick
a
someone
boxer from
easy.
the past.
Pick someone easy.
No, get him.
You know what? I want this guy getting paid. Let's say, what's that Paul guy's name?
Jake Paul?
That's
Yo!
the one. Yeah. I am honestly honored I forgot the name, to be honest,
What's that
because
Paul
I am
guy's
so
name?
tired of, I'm so
Amazing.
sick of
Oh
celebrity
my
boxing.
gosh.
But I want my guy getting paid for some easy work.
Yo,
Wow.
Jana, you got that hook up for steroids, man? Because
Wow.
if you pump him, I'll fight him.
Alyssa, I'm not going to answer that question on camera. Okay, so Kambosos, Haney, who wins?
Ooh.
Can they
Kambosos.
beat Loma?
Kambosos beats Loma and Haney, hands down. No question.
Okay.
You know, I think it's Kambosos is fantastic. He's training hard. Haney is such a special fighter in the sense that he's not a big puncher, but he knows his dimensions so well. He's so slick. He's very hard to hit. He almost looks like
Are you questioning me right now?
Yes, I am. A little bit of a younger-
We're gonna have a
This is
talk. We're gonna have a
Against
talk.
No, you got it wrong.
You throw that back in.
I'm not thinking of younger Floyd.
Cue it up.
He looks more like Sugar Ray Leonard the way he moves.
Yeah.
Is that he, except for doesn't have quite have the same explosive speed, but that movement, the lateral movement, I love watching.
Kambosos is fast.
He's gotten really fast.
Kambosos
Like-
is fast, athletic, hits real hard, and like I think he also boxes like he's a two-way fighter. He can
It's a
fight on the
pick'em.
inside.
I'm gonna say
Fight on
Haney
outside.
for that though.
All right. Well,
I don't
when
think
the time
either of them
comes.
beat Lomachenko.
And
though.
you guys got cash on you or what?
Yeah. I'll put cash
Slap
on
it
that.
down.
cash on me. What are you talking about?
I'll put cash on
We
that.
do not condone
I'll
sports
put
betting.
I put cash on that, and I put money that Kambosos like will like he drops Loma.
And
at
you
least
think
once.
Kambosos beats Loma?
Yeah,
I don't.
100%.
Well, also, I mean, I'm biased to Southpaws as well. Loma, I just adored. Like when he fought for the world title at 1-0, and I see a guy that at 126 at the time he's 5'7", fought at 126, the exact same dimensions I had, a lefty.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
hate
pretty much
fucking
a
lefties, man.
superhuman version of anything I could want to do with his amateur background.
Yeah.
Lomachenko's my guy.
Okay, oh my god.
Shout out Ukraine though.
Yeah.
No, but honestly though, shout out Ukraine. Like they've
absolutely.
and
Those
like
motherfuckers are holding it down.
holy
for
crap.
themselves, yeah.
And
Usyk,
honestly,
like
Respect to Loma as well in the sense that he had to turn down, didn't have to, but he did just turn
did.
down about $10 million. to stay in his country at home, which
I respect that.
I respect that a lot. Is that
Absolutely.
not every fighter would be willing to do that?
No.
Not every person would be willing to do that at all. And he was, and he's not getting any younger either in his career. So I mean, he turned down. He's been wanting all 4 belts forever, and he turned down the opportunity to get them because of
Do something bigger.
at the end. At
He's
the
doing
end.
something
At the end
bigger.
of the day, fighting is fighting, and you still have to live your life. You still have to take care of your own, and he's doing exactly that.
Wicked.
But
Wicked.
Kambosos wins. Hands down. I mean, he's too explosive. He's too slick.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure that this
Who you
bet
got? Who do
gets
you got?
paid out. I got Kambosos.
Hey!
Okay.
I'm sorry, I
Jason?
do.
Okay, don't talk to me.
Are you
Who
just
do got?
mixing it up?
Don't talk to me right now.
You're just
I
mixing
called
it
you
up.
handsome and you betray me like this, bro.
Okay, well
do you
now
got? Who do you got?
we all have to watch this.
Okay, Kambosos.
Now we all gotta watch this fight together.
Yeah,
now.
I think
Let's watch it.
that's what we're saying now.
I think Haney might get dropped by Kambosos, but Haney might still win.
Haney, if you're listening
that's
to
fantastic. Fantastic.
Jason, I never felt so betrayed in
Of
my
course he
damn
is.
life.
this. Okay, Canelo Triple G3. Who wins?
Canelo.
Oh,
Canelo. I mean,
yeah, it would be end of the road for Canelo at the highest level. He'd still be getting paid $5-10 million a fight, which I mean, yeah, like I said, yeah, yes, please sign me up for that. But if he can't get past G for the first time, I'm gonna say controversial pick is he can't get past Triple G for the first time because I do not believe he won either of the first 2 fights. Then it would be the end of the line. His 2 losses in a row at the highest level
You know, I
is
was-
very difficult to bounce back.
It's true.
However,
Triple-
did anyone see the last Golovkin fight with Ryan?
yeah, he
Ross?
didn't look great. Yeah,
Oh,
the
Murata?
Japanese
Okay,
dude.
hold up. So I was watching Canelo Triple G1 just the other night because I was like, I'm gonna start going through before the
Respect.
trilogy, right?
Yeah.
I wanna
Respect.
re-up on it. And I'm looking at Golovkin. I'm like, this dude over 40 looks like he's
Incredible.
ripped against Murata.
Yeah.
And he looked just, I mean, he's still Golovkin. Like, he was amazing against Canelo. But I'm like, what is this dude eating?
Yeah, but he didn't look that good.
No,
though.
that's
I
what I
didn't
was
think he
gonna
looked
say,
that
is
good.
No,
Murata's a
I'm just
very
talking,
underrated
I'm
fighter.
talking
Yeah,
no
if you
skill,
talk- yeah,
pure
if you-
abs.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
I was like,
And that's very important.
Jana.
no, it's not.
It is.
It
Jana,
is.
damn it. Damn woman. I gave you respect for doing the study and this is what you come back with me, man.
I was like,
Vegan diet.
yeah.
no way.
Yo,
that-
is there
that
any
was
vegans
Canelo.
in the house? Is there any vegans in the house
Those
right now?
Canelo's a
Okay,
vegan.
I just want to say this. I just
No
want to say,
vegans listening.
okay, good. I just want to say, first and foremost, Rob Cousins, I think you're the best motherfucker I've ever met.
But-
and the vegan diet has worked great for you. However, outside of Robert Cousins is a special animal. Outside of Robert Cousins,
Special-
no, he is a
Yeah.
good, like he's a bad man. Robert Cousins, shout out to that guy. But man, Canelo going fucking vegan.
Why?
Man, why?
Why
bro?
would you do
But you know
that?
what? But you know what? I'll
It
tell you
did make
this.
a difference.
You know
Evil?
what? This is. I'm just gonna say this is a wife thing. I'm gonna put my money
Oh,
on
you
that his
think?
wifey was
You
like,
think?
babe, I really think we should go.
How dare you
plant-based."
blame the woman?
You know
How
what?
dare
No,
you
I
blame
think
the
I'm
woman?
listen.
How
I'm just
dare
saying.
you?
I'm
How
just
dare
saying.
you?
Yeah, no, but
I'll say this
when
though.
you're-
I'll say this. So Bevo though, Bevo,
He's sick.
half Korean. What up? Shout out Korea.
Oh, damn.
Yo,
But,
that
Shut up,
yeah,
BTS.
as far as athletes at that level, is that diet, especially for someone with Crohn's disease like me, very, very important in my training. But when you get to the level of Canelo,
I'm like, why are you changing
why would
things?
you
No.
change
I'm
it?
gonna say it wouldn't have made a single difference because he's built in the lab. Every single meal he has, they know exactly the micros, the macros, etc. All those things that I don't know about. They know exactly the amount of protein that's going in him. It doesn't make a difference for a guy like that. It's just another built-in excuse.
Nah,
I don't know.
he didn't have the Mexican tacos.
No, I'm saying he needs more
Oh,
carne.
The Mexican tacos
He
got full
just
of.
need- he needs
GHB.
He needs
his,
You know,
I
that's-
forgot what it's called, but the horse cough
Yeah,
medicine.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what he
yeah,
needs.
yeah.
But-
I just think the guy
but-
needs a little more carne asada in his life.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with
Canelo,
that.
if you're listening
Amen.
to
But,
this, which of course you
Amen.
are listening to this podcast.
But as far as that goes, sorry.
Muy
cut you off there.
pescado.
Is
Oh.
that yeah? Canelo's got the right time for G. Is that he's another guy that's going, oh yeah, I want revenge. This is for revenge. And even Triple G goes, you could have got revenge 7 years ago. You have to wait till the guy's 41 to
I guess
fight
yeah.
him.
Like,
so-
are we excited for this fight, or is
We
this
are.
just sort of like
Well, yeah.
filler?
I mean, it's two big names, and like at the end of the day, Canelo is the A side, and like boxing is a business. So if he wants to make like a 39-year-old man or like a fucking 36-year-old man wait a few years, he's gonna make him wait. Like that's why boxing's got sort of like a black eye. Black eye, get it. Anyway, it's because like it's like the business part of it is so like it's not it's all about the A side always. It's always about the A side. So it's
Speaking
one
of
those things.
A sides and B sides, we know what Lev's favorite boxing movie is. What's yours?
Oh man, I'd say Cinderella Man.
Great
Okay,
movie.
cool.
Cinderella Man.
Jana's
But-
is so
No, No, it's not.
Southpaw?
That is the,
No, it's
okay,
not.
it is the worst
No, it's
movie.
not.
Jana. No, it's
It is
not.
by far
That's
the
a
worst
joke.
boxing movie
Jana.
I've ever
Worst
seen.
boxing movie ever. No, I
It's a
spent
joke.
an entire 5 minutes shitting on that movie.
Yeah.
Like I was
Jana.
so upset.
That better not be the death.
No,
penalty.
no, it's not the
Modern era
Jam
boxing
Suit.
I will
movies
cancel
go
you.
No,
The Fighter,
look at Matt's
if you get a
face.
chance.
He's dying right now because he thinks I'm gonna punch him out.
What is your what is your favorite boxing movie? This
Every
this
boxer
is gonna
knows
judge
that
you.
movie's trash,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's awful,
I
right?
haven't even-
Who liked it? Was it Rhett? Was it Rhett that
think
liked
it
it?
was Brad,
Rhett, are you hearing this?
No, and Benny, didn't he give it the excuse?
I don't
It
know. Yeah, maybe it was
a movie?
Benny. It was awful. Anyways,
Yo, shout out Benny, man. That guy's
Yeah,
my little
what's
brother,
up,
man.
Benny?
And I used to spar that guy. Like, man, that guy is a total stud
don't-
now.
yeah.
Him and I were the same height at one point. I was sparring him all the time.
What happened?
skateboard.
he got
No,
old.
man, I came back over the summertime. He must have been eating Mexican tacos or something. The guy grew.
Yeah, he had some
And I was
carne.
like, all right, man, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, give me your diet, man.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite boxing
You know what? I don't really like any of the
Tom
boxing
Hardy's
movies.
trash.
I liked Warrior. Like as far as just a fight movie, Cinderella Man was quite good, but I was like, I have.
I'm leaving.
It's all about. It's all about.
Tom Hardy's shoulder.
It's all about Tom Hardy for me. Like Tom Hardy, I know you're listening.
No, he's not. He's not listening,
single
Jana. Stop talking.
ready
He's
to
not
mingle.
listening. No, he don't want to mingle with you. He's not listening.
I don't know. I think your chaps are.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
Tom Hardy.
I digress.
She
Yeah,
is
you have
single.
celebrities on your Instagram, so
No,
how's that? So?
no, I don't have. No.
BTS.
How dare you? That's racist.
Cancel that.
As far
I'm
as
playing. Me and Mac go way back. I was just like.
as far as modern era boxing movies, because Rocky's a bit of a classic. Say The Fighter's the best one with the Mickey Ward story.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good one.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a good one.
true,
That's a
true,
good
true.
one.
Just
Yeah.
from an athlete standpoint, from a fighter standpoint. So yeah, Martin the Pun is
Raging Bull.
fantastic
seen it.
movie.
What?
I don't like to watch real old movies.
Okay, but Raging Bull, like I forgot about
my
this
girl.
entirely.
The worst
It's
excuse
so
I've
good.
ever heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, with the,
truth.
the
Mr.
fighter,
Culture over here.
I don't want to watch old movies.
What's the year? What's the
Yeah, I know. I
It's
don't
black
know.
and white too, isn't it?
yeah, Raging Bull is
Yeah. There's no subtitles or anything, do I?
Oh, really?
No,
Oh,
don't
okay.
worry. You're fine.
Well, you know,
You-
like
you
it's
forget
Robert
it's
De
black
Niro,
and
right?
white.
Yeah.
Man,
It's
I know Robert De Niro from like
so
Meet
good.
the Fockers, man.
Yeah.
I can't see.
Yeah.
I can't see him as a.
You gotta
boxer,
spike
man.
those
looking
fuckers.
tanked.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
yeah,
it was so
yeah.
good.
But you know, the boxing in Creed, like,
I
is
love the
pretty
Creed
good
films, too, yeah.
in comparison
Rocky.
to like the Rocky franchise,
Comparison
like
to Southpaw?
the haymakers, and then
Second
you got
one was a sequel.
you got Michael B. Jordan like shoulder rolling stuff. Shout out, hey, oh, you know, if I want to fight anybody, it'd be Michael B. Jordan because like my girlfriend got a little crush on him, so I would
Oh,
smash
yeah.
that guy.
Okay.
I would smash him. Like no doubt. I would
Michael,
smash
if
him.
you're listening to
If
this,
you're listening, I'll fight you and I
Don't go
will
to Surrey,
smash your
Michael.
fucking face. Michael.
Don't go to Surrey. Yeah.
Shout out Brill. Yeah.
Okay, back to A sides and B sides. Man, I'm so good at this linking.
That's
of things.
great. Yeah, you awesome.
What is your top 3? Like, what's on your top 3 songs in your playlist right now for your
Hey, that's a
training?
good question. That's an important question. Your top 3 songs that you.
J1, this is a question approved by
I
J1.
gotta be careful.
This is a good
I
one.
gotta be
This is a
careful
good
with my
one.
choices right now, just in case I don't want to spoil the ring entrance. You know.
Okay, well, don't say
How
that
about your
one.
next three, then?
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Well, I just again when I was talking about ring entrances, there's
Bum, bum, bum.
no.
Bum, 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 bum. You
No,
going
go
out
ahead,
to
but you
Rocky?
no, but when I talk about ring entrances, as far as what most motivates me is that Mike Tyson ring entrances can get you just ready to
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Do you see me post about that yesterday? Or
No,
like
I
a couple
didn't
days ago? I was
actually.
like,
was he
what's
coming out
better?
the park in that one?
Yeah, I think it was a montage.
No, he gave
okay.
his time for some action.
Oh,
Redman, yeah,
Redman.
exactly. That
You
one's
would.
Too early for you.
Love Redman.
been always
man,
been
I'm older than him, man.
constantly on my list. Yeah, it's been yeah. A
A little bit of Wu Tang.
You know what? Eminem is another one. I hate to be the cliche for boxing,
Eminem's
but
sick. He's
that
a
one's
goat.
always good.
Does
Always
you
good
get your
for training.
knees weak, your arms sweaty?
Yeah, exactly.
Mom
You got it.
spaghetti.
Oh, spaghetti.
Mom's spaghetti is on the list
Yeah.
Okay.
almost always.
All right.
yeah,
one more.
Oh, Okay, let's just make sure. You know what? I'm gonna go with a classic. It used to be my old ring entrance. Sam and Dave, "Hold On, I'm Coming." No, it's just an old blues R&B song.
Yeah,
You got it. You got it.
Mhm.
Is that I always like songs that
I'm
can get the
coming.
legs moving. So I have a very very weird running tape, so to speak. Is that it'll go from 70s, 60s R&B to all of a sudden just like going into some more contemporary stuff.
He goes from Marvin Gaye to
And then it takes about 40% Eazy-E when it comes to running
Hey.
tapes, because that's just when you're short and mad at the world, you know?
PMB Rampage. That's a walkout song.
Look at this old school guy.
That's
You're
when
really
Matt's
showing
coming
your
out.
age is showing.
too. Jay White, top 3 songs on your
My playlist. Oh, my when I reminisce about comebacks.
Yeah, when you're when you're at home feeling some kind of way.
Yeah.
like-
Always. I'm always feeling something.
Yeah, what do you listen
Sensitive
to?
stuff. Chris Antonio's In the City. That's like that song is like fucking.
He's got to
that's
feel
a
in
local,
some kind of way right now.
Yeah, that's a local artist. It's my homeboy that did that song, that one. And anything Drake. I mean, I tell you, Koreans are superstitious, right? We are.
Tell us
and
more.
Every song that I came out to that was not Drake, I got screwed over somehow with a no contest or some bullshit draw or something like that. So, any song I came out to Drizzy, man, I got the win. Easy work.
There you go.
So I'm only coming out to Drizzy moving
Wicked.
forward. But anything Drake. Do Not Disturb is a good one. Or some opera.
Really?
Really throw
That'll
like,
really rattle somebody.
That will
You come
really-
out to Andre Bocelli.
I
They're
was-
like,
bruh, Time to Say Goodbye.
They're like
Time to
stressing.
Say Goodbye. That for real is such a sick. Why you guys laugh? The disrespect. That song, it fucking slaps, man.
slap.
Props to you for knowing who Andre Bocelli is.
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, that guy's a
That
legend.
guy definitely fucks. He definitely fucks.
Yeah,
He definitely fucks.
he just feel.
catch it.
I mean, he's all
Yeah.
he's all feels, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
he's
He
blind.
definitely fucks. He's blind?
Andre Bocelli is blind.
I did not know that.
I knew that. I was confirming if she knew that. I'm just testing her IQ. It's good to know that you know you're Andre Bocelli though. So.
Wow, I'm speechless. Wow. Oh my god, you guys, this has been an absolute blast.
100%.
Oh, for sure.
I thank you for having us,
Yeah.
man.
We're super stoked to watch you fight.
Thank you.
I'm super stoked for every aspect of it, from the moment you step through to the moment you step through the ropes. We can't wait for what's coming, and you guys are going to be an amazing team together.
And
Hopefully many more of this.
thank you. And you're also going to be excited for the moment the ref counts 10 on my opponent.
Okay.
Hey.
Also, bated breath on that one. So,
Hey.
this has been Lev and JY on the Empire Boxing Podcast. Thanks so much for coming through, you guys.
Awesome. And lastly, just want to quickly give a shout out and thanks to Centurion Hardwood. They sponsored me for my last fight for this one as well, helping me get to the fight, getting into the best condition I can be. So just wanted to give them a quick thanks before we wrap it up.
Wicked. Well,
Wicked. Thank
Yeah.
you for paying my fighter.
yay. Stay tuned for more episodes. Get your tickets to the fight. Come watch this guy win.